Welcome to Civilian Jeeps. I'm Jake, and today we're going to go over the BullDawg Manufacturing Hardtop. This is the 1-year review of the hardtop and the sliders for my half doors. Also, I thought it'd be neat that I show you some comparisons between my wife's TJ and her factory OEM hardtop, the Mopar one, compared to my LJ, the BullDawg hardtop. So let's go ahead, dive right into it, and here's all you need to know about this BullDawg hardtop. Can you guys see all these gnats and flies flying around? They're driving me nuts, but I'm a land surveyor, so I'm kind of used to it. I'm just gonna roll with it here because I want to do this video for you guys, and we'll just put up with the gnats and flies. But let's go ahead and dive right into it. Now, what you're seeing here is a 05 LJ Rubicon, the Jeep TJ Unlimited. I absolutely love this Jeep. That's my dream Jeep. It took me 2 years to find this one, and I originally had a soft top on it, but I wanted something a little more rigid, a little more, better with the elements. And because the reason for that is because I have a 1-year-old daughter now, and I really wanted something that I could, safely take her in and out of, and, convenience-wise. And one big thing that I'll get into is these windows on the side open. Now, if you haven't seen my initial couple videos on this hardtop, make sure to go back in my channel and look at that, because that's going to tell you everything you want to know about this hardtop. But I'll go over some things about this top as well in this video. But one of the big things I want to do is compare this top to my wife's TJ Sahara. This is the Spice Tan top, and this is the factory top, and this is a 02 TJ Sahara Wrangler. So very clean Jeep. Love this little Jeep. My wife does too. Let's go ahead and dive right in to my hardtop on the LJ. Now, this video is not scripted. This is just me just going over whatever comes to mind, but I'm not really showing you guys these sliders, and I got them about a year ago. Got them just a few weeks after I got the top, and I really like them. If you got half doors and want something a little more rigid to make it like a full door, but you can easily take the top section off still, this is definitely the way to go. Now, the way it mounts is there's 3 bolts, just like how the factory ones mount. But the factory, it has little studs that go down in the door on your half doors. These are a little different. You put little inserts down in the door, and the inserts are threaded, almost like a riv nut style. And then you slide this slider on, and then tighten your bolts down. And make sure to don't over tighten it though, or you'll rip that little riv nut out, and chances are you're going to break it, and you'll have to order some different ones. So do not over tighten these sliders whenever you put them on. Just make them snug. Now, there's a good chance that you're going to have to position your hinges here, realign your hinges. But if your doors have ever been taken off to get painted or anything like that, or if the factory, because TJ, if I remember correctly, TJ LJs didn't come with half doors. I'm almost 99.9% sure they did not come with half doors. They were full doors. So most likely, if you have half doors on your LJ, not TJ, that they didn't come factory, they come on a TJ. So most likely you'll have to reposition your hinges because it'll rub a little bit up here, and that's really the only thing that was kind of annoying. Another thing with these sliders that was just kind of annoying was the sliding mechanism right here. It gives you a big field of view for this window, a lot bigger than like a soft window, but it had a little stopper right here, a little rubber piece right in the groove, and it only let it go to about right there. And I know why they did it. It's so it wouldn't be impaired with your rear view mirror right there, but I found that the opening just wasn't enough for me to stick my head out of, and I didn't enjoy it as much. So I took that rubber piece out, and I love the half opening right here. I can stick my head out, still have plenty of room. They look great. I mean, you don't hardly ever see an LJ with a hard top and then hard uppers on half doors. I wanted something very unique, and that's what I got. So really do love that. As far as going back to the top though, this thing has been amazing. After having it for a year, I can safely say that I would definitely buy this top again. It's just so easy, and the side opening windows have been everything that I thought they would be. It's just so nice to be able to go in here, get what I want, get what I need, pull it out, and not have to do this stupid seat mechanism. And look how rigid this is. This is the Highlander model, and it makes it to where you can put 800 pounds on the roof. This isn't, you know, it's got extra molding and supports in the top of it, but I talk all about that stuff in my other videos, so I'm not going to go too much into, you know, the detailed specs. If you want to know the detailed specs of this top, make sure you check out my other videos. But I will show you this. This is a big game changer right here, is this sliding window. The amount of air that circulates in the back now, instead of just coming through the window and getting trapped back here, it's a game changer for sure. Just the air goes in and then open the other one and the air will go out. And it's just a nice breeze for everybody in the back, unlike the factory top that the window doesn't slide or open. Now, I know I mentioned that, you know, I have my daughter now, and especially when she was real little, because she's about to outgrow this bucket style seat. But the game changer for me was this opening window, because it might be kind of hard one-handed to hold the camera and do it, but you pop this car seat out here and turn it sideways, and it'll fit right out the window. Now obviously I have to do it two-handed when I'm not holding the camera, but it's perfect. Like, that is, the window is big enough that you can put a car seat in and out, and you can put the car seat without turning it. If you put that bar down, you just put it right in there like that, but I just turn it sideways. My daughter kind of enjoys it when she goes sideways. She thinks it's a roller coaster or something. But anyway, so that was the big to-do on really why I bought this top, was to be able to have good AC in this thing. But even with a soft top, the AC is just not quite par, you know, for a newborn baby in the middle of summer if it's 90 degrees out. So I was like, you know, what do? Do I buy a, you know, newer Jeep? And I was like, nah, I'm not getting rid of my LJ. It took me too long to find this and fix it, and it's perfect the way it is now. So it took me forever to do all this. I'm not getting rid of the LJ, but I still want to go on Jeep adventures with my family. So this top, absolutely perfect. Like, I cannot say enough great things about it, because it allowed me to have, basically, you know, have my family in my Jeep, and see just how easy that is to put the car seat through. Sorry if you guys aren't in focus. There we go. Now it's snapped back in. Like I said, that's a lot harder with the camera, but it is very easy to do. Here's another sliding window for your air. And then there's your little turn dials to lock it, and these do lock. All this stuff locks. One of the issues that I've had, and it's really not that big of a deal, but it's kind of frustrating, but this little, you know, grommet seal right there has come off, and I'm sure I can purchase another one and fix that really easy. But that come off, which is kind of annoying. So now it's going to let water down in there, but I'm not too concerned with that. That's really my only, well, besides, the only other thing, as if some of you watch my other video about this top, you probably already know this, and you can see I've got a different bumper. Now this is not BullDawg's fault whatsoever, but this is just the design that it ended up being. So you have to have where your tire carrier opens first, because the way this BullDawg top's designed is that you take your window right here and you open it. Now this LOD tire carrier drives me nuts, because I'm on an incline right now and there's no way to lock it. Like, why would you design a rear tire carrier and then have no way to lock it in place? There's a stop right here to keep me from going any further, but there's no way to lock the thing. I have to sit here with my elbow and keep it open if I'm on a hill. But you can see I just opened that, and this back glass is bigger, or at least it feels bigger than the factory glass. Now we're going to go over to my wife's and compare it real quick so I can really show you guys. But the factory one, you close your top like the actual hard top. You close your hard top and then you close your tailgate. Now you can't have that if you have a tire carrier that uses the tailgate mechanism to open the tire carrier, like it's all one piece. And so that's what I found out, you know, from my last tire carrier. That's why I had to change out. So basically, make sure that if you want to use this top, make sure that you have the tire carrier that goes in like this. And this one is kind of a pain to get it to latch. You gotta really put some force into it. So anyway, now that's latched. But let's check out the differences between my wife's TJ Sahara. Now, let me make sure it's unlocked because I don't think it is. The back, that is. Now, let me get the key. As you can see, the inside is just all white and it's very thin. Like you can see, I can easily push up on that. There's a huge quality difference between the factory top and the BullDawg. You can tell BullDawg has went the extra mile to put in more core supports and you know, just make a more solid top. And then once your tailgate's out of the way, then the top goes up. So then the top goes back down, and then you shut your tailgate, the exact opposite of the BullDawg. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're going to be purchasing a BullDawg hardtop. I would say, you know, biggest complaint would be, I really don't have that many complaints on this top. Really just the design of that. If you don't have the correct tire carrier, I guess would be my only complaint still to this day, because that was my complaint a year ago. And fit and finish, it's been perfect for over a year now. And you can pan up there, see the top of it. Now this top hasn't been cleaned in a while and it still looks great. And I'll show you that sunroof here in a minute, because I've got a trick on that sunroof I want to show you guys. But let's go back over here. I do want to show you guys that with a factory hardtop and a TJ, not an LJ, in a TJ you can actually still put your child or whatever through the back seat. This is what I do with my daughter. I just put her in through the back. Now an LJ, it's too big. I can't. It's too much, you know, room between the back seat and that LJ's on 37s and an 8-inch lift, so it's really big. But on this little stock TJ, I just go right in through the back, and but it's going to be a lot different when we have to face this car seat forward. It's going to make it harder because I can't go in through that window. So we're going to have to go back to the seat method of crawling through the front seat and then putting her in. And then on this one, if the car seat's forward, you can still open the window and then put them in. You know, it don't have to be the bucket style seat. I have put her in through this Jeep, you know, just putting her through the window and setting her down in the car seat. And that makes it a lot easier. So take a good look at this top, you know, the construction of it. You can see there's only these little ribs right here as actual supports, and I would say I wouldn't push more than 150 pounds, you know, actually being on top of this roof without it buckling or causing a deformation of the top. So now this top is 23 years old because it's a 02 Jeep, so it has little imperfections here and there. Has the vent in the back like the TJs do, or certain model TJs. And you can see here my rear windshield wiper hose has come off, but I'll fix that another time. So anyway, that's kind of just the factory top. Not a whole lot to say about it other than, you know, I like the factory top, but as far as the options go, why would you want a 20-year-old top that's been sitting in somebody's field that looks like this and, you know, faded out? This thing really does need to be repainted if I wanted to make this thing mint. And people are asking a fortune for these OEM tops, and they're not built as well as the BullDawg hardtop. So I just don't understand why you'd want to spend your money on a factory one unless you're just trying to go all OEM, because I would just buy a BullDawg top, and you can get the spice color in the BullDawg top. So don't think just because you don't like black, you want a different color, that you shouldn't buy a BullDawg hardtop. But one thing that I want to show you guys is this sunroof. Now the sunroof is freaking sweet. Like, I love having a sunroof, and this little tab right here, let me climb in this Jeep. This little tab, you can press it with your finger, and then one hand motion you can take this whole glass out, and it just becomes a big open area, like a Freedom Panel or Sunrider sort of thing, and you have, you know, open air experience. But one thing I want to tell you about this new system that they got is a turn dial for this top, and you think, you know, you might want to open it just a little bit, you get a little bit of breeze, not open your top all the way. Well, you can do that, but the issue arises when you're going down the interstate. If you're going like 65, 70 mile an hour, this thing wants to flap around if it don't have its support all the way out. So make sure that when you open your top, go all the way, and then give it another cinch or two and make it really strong and rigid, and then that way it can handle the wind of driving down the interstate. Because I had that issue Probably about 6 or 7 months ago. I was driving down the interstate going about 70, and this thing right here was just wobbling way too much. I was afraid that the actual glass was going to come out of the socket right here. So make sure that you tighten this all the way to give it enough rigidity. But let's go back up to the top. As you can see, this thing super clean, and it's got these supports right here for a roof rack. Now this roof rack, they claim, is 800 pounds. I think it's 600 pounds dynamic, which means moving weight, and then it's 800 pounds if you're setting still. Now another thing that I plan on using this for, this rack, is to be able, when I take this top off, a lot of people don't think of this, but if you have enough support and your top is rigid enough to handle it, you can put eye bolt supports right here, and that's what I'm going to use to take this top off with my winch system that I'm going to be building. So I can just put an eyelet in the track, eyelet, have all the eyelets, and then rig a system to where I got a winch on my ceiling, and it's just going to raise the hardtop up off the Jeep, and like a hoist system. Well, it is a hoist system. So, but as far as the sliders go, they are very easy to take off. These bolts are long though, so I would recommend having a drill, because you're going to be ratcheting in a while. So you just ratchet those bolts out, and then this thing just slides on out. As you can see, I really need to adjust the hinges on this, but it does work just fine. Oh, I had the door locked. I don't know why I locked the door. Another thing I want to mention is that but some factory hardtops, they might leak a little bit, and even the aftermarket ones are prone to leaking. But my BullDawg top here, in the year that I've had it, has not leaked, not even from the sunroof. As long as your sunroof is closed properly, all the way tight and down, it has not leaked. Now, those dreaded rally tops where they're two pieces, where they go up like this and over, and you can take this piece off, kind of a cool design if you're into that sort of thing, like a freedom panel style. But those things leak like crazy. And where this is just a one-piece top, and I do have the sunroof, but my sunroof hasn't leaked. None of this, the sliders, the hardtop, none of it has leaked. And you can see down there in the floor, it's completely dry. There's a little bit of discoloration from where your feet go, but floor is dry. I've been perfectly happy with the leaks. There's no leaks. You can get another sunroof for the back that is also removable if you wanted that. I opted not to do that. I wanted the Highlander with more supports back there and make it more rigid in the back than having a sunroof. Plus, I think the one sunroof up here is just classy looking, but I did want to throw that in there and mention to you guys, because that is a big deciding factor in aftermarket tops, is whether they leak or not. As far as my 1 year review, I would buy this again in a heartbeat. Like this hardtop has been, I know I've said it before, but a game changer for my family. To be able to go out on adventures and still explore, and still be able to use the LJ, but easily get my daughter in and out of it, and I don't have to worry, in the wintertime to keep her hot, and the summertime keep her cool. And once she gets a little older, I will take the top off, more open air experience. But I have 5 Jeeps. I have other Jeeps that, she wants to ride in, like with a no top. So actually one that I'm going to be introducing to the channel here soon, my YJ, that's the big reason I got it. I got it for a good deal, and I'm going to take the top off and just put a car seat in the back of it. And it's probably not going to have the top on most of the time. So anyway, that's kind of the quality comparison. This is just, standard TJ hardtop. The hardtop is pretty thin, flex is pretty easy. Has a good fit and finish because it's factory. And one thing that I will show you guys before I leave, that door's locked too. Why do I keep locking all these doors? Anyway, so let me show you this before I leave. The way that this one mounts is through the actual bolts that go down in between the tub, and there's 3 of them right there, and I'm going to show you that that's the same way that the BullDawg top mounts, is through the little bolts and the twist right here, and they go down and sandwich between the hardtop and the tub. So the mounting system is still the same. So even if you have a factory top and you're wanting to change it out for a BullDawg top, there's not going to be much different at all in the way you mount it. Really, it's the same type thing. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. This was, as you can see, me just kind of rambling on about my 1-year review, because I told you guys I would do more of a long-term review of this Jeep with the BullDawg Hardtop and the BullDawg sliders. So this is my, longer review. I love this thing. I have went off-road with it. It's held up great. Just the only thing I would recommend is, if you don't have this style tire carrier, you probably want one. And one of the little nuisances is that O-ring, but that can be fixed pretty easy. But this thing is a tank. I recommend it. Go to BullDawg's website, BullDawg MFG for manufacturing, and check them out. See what kind of top they have. Them for TJ, LJ, JK, YJ. They were going to do one for CJ, but I don't think that one's back out yet. So let me know down in the comments below if you like this top, maybe if you want to purchase a top. And if you do call them, let them know that Civilian Jeep sent you. And, hopefully they might give you a small discount if Civilian Jeep sent you. But I don't have an affiliate with them or any sort of thing. They just make a great top. So let them know that you come through this video. And, when it comes to Jeeps, keep it classic.